it's several aspects that are being broken down right now that I'm going to attempt to break down through the universe, playing out the perspective through me. All right. So, firstly, we have the sun in Libra, moon in Capricorn. So the sun is in the early degrees, so it's still being backed and supported by Virgo, analyzing the details of our situations and relating ours and others' way of stabilizing, breaking down the details and things of that nature. And it's being backed and supported in the area of diplomacy, balance, loving and value natures of the lower spectrum within our yin space, right? Initiating outwardly into the yang world, though, because it is outward air, you know what I'm saying, the yang, right? So we are reacting and responding to our status and our way of initiating a new way to build and to move forward with a solid plan, framework, and idea about our relationships and how we relate our worries, our stressors, and the things that are in our minds, the details of relationships that brings people together and brings balance. So, with the sun sextiling Venus direct right now, Leo, this is taking the opportunity to be aware of our worries and how that brings people together, and we have the opportunity to do that via our relationships and our loving values and compromising with these things, because these are the two energies that are direct right now along with Mars, right? So the other sextile to Mars right there is receiving and giving attention to our love, value, and the things that we appreciate regarding our passion and those that we include and allow within our space from the past relationships and things that we are comfortable with. So with this T-square, you've seen the pattern. It's been it started with fixed T-square in Scorpio, moved to a mutable T-square, Sagittarius, and third, but not finally, it's a cardinal T-square with Capricorn. So with the moon in Capricorn in detriment, squaring the North Node in Aries and Chiron, is what you're building or the status or the way that you're presenting and seeing yourself able to survive the fire, the vision that you put out there, even if you make personal mistakes. Is your foundation going to be able to stand the test of the fire, and how people are looking at the vision that you are initiating and being the innovator and looking back at your foundation and framework and seeing how at the end of the day you can go far into your passions and make that mistake and express that while having something to stand on. Now the other square to the South Node in Libra is that it's what you're building and the status that you're creating for yourself, able to be related within the environment to your values and things that you're willing to compromise for the sake of relationships, regarding utilizing other people for your passions and coming together in the name of past passions, you know, and being aware and taking action on the worries and the stressors motivatingly with people, because teamwork makes the dream work. And from another person's perspective, they have the tools, and that's not something that you should worry or be anxious about, because they are able to heal you and value you. But are you able to be healed in a way that is present right now? This is where the don't get lost in the sextile of these two planets, Mars and Venus, being the mutual benefactors of being direct. Are they able to heal you where you are at right now, not in the past way? Is aligning with your passions right now, not with the past passions or other people's past passions. You know what I'm saying right there. So that's the aspect that I wanted to bring down to y'all. It was a lot initially, but okay, yeah, don't want to leave that out. So the moon in Capricorn in detriment helps us slow the pace down, right? It's just being realistic, because it's squaring Libra. So it is an opportunity to learn to utilize more relativeness, utilize more airy natures in communicating your status than just having a hard fixed emotion and being in that box with your emotion, because the sun is protecting our needs, our vulnerabilities, the moon. So it's doing that in the way of working with people and relating with people over our worries, but still that sextile, so you don't want to go too far in your fixed passions with Leo, receiving and giving attention, right? So the moon in conjuncting Venus, we are misunderstanding how what we are building, how we are structuring, how we are capitalizing our status is going to help us receive attention, how we are going to have time to even give attention, how we're going to have time to be able to receive the attention, accept the attention, validate the attention for being, you know what I'm saying, we all really generally ain't shit, but using it as, you know what I'm saying, manifesting as what we really are, you know what I'm saying, as far as this reality goes, right? As far as that goes, right? So that misunderstanding is allowing us to pump the brakes and sit back and have a moment before the moon opposes Venus. And then we really are sitting back and looking at our crowd of people, especially with the when it initiates and trines Libra and South Node and Mars and all that, for looking at the humanitarian, the network of the people that are watching us, because there are people watching your relationships, watching the things that you love, value, and compromise for, either to take advantage, either to add on to, either to separate from, to help you see the reality of these things. Moon in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn, at that, transforming the way that we are structuring our emotions, and the way that we are learning with this T-square. And we have like a final T-square when Aquarius moves into that space of the moon, because when Pisces gets there, it's just gonna be it's gonna be back to a singular square. So I'm gonna break down the allegory of what each wall of these T-squares has meant as far as making and shaping that box of that energy, you know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, the in conjunction is where you're misunderstanding how what you're structuring is, you know what I'm saying, receiving and giving attention. And all that takes is time and number 8 energy. Shout out via Izzo for that Saturn day reading. The time that you're putting into your relationships. Time that you're seeing how they are evolved. Time and seeing how your passions are moving, how you're passionately speaking to others, right? We talk about love, value, compromise, and initiating that way, but it's coming from the mouth. It's coming from that throat chakra. And it's still that in conjunction with Taurus, which is external value, external compromise, and manipulation, because it's still a fixed sign at the end of the day. But it has what it has, right? And then the sun in the cusp, you know, that trine is a lot of dust energy right now. Pluto, dust energy. The sun, dust energy, right? So don't get lost into the fart clouds, and don't let that dust blind you and get into your eyes and be all dry, because you see your eyes, you see it, they're fluid and things, and projecting light. And what's more important of the emission of light? Leo right there. So we have the opportunity to pump the brakes on these things and slow down and structure these things. So that misunderstanding is a way for you to, you know, it's different ways. You can misunderstand it. That just means you are leaning more on the polarity of overstanding or understanding. And so you either go within, or you're going to rise above this situation, because being up under it, you're looking up and you're to your position. You might not be directly up under it where it's shining that light. You might just be a hair off, and that's what that misunderstanding is. And you just need to have faith in yourself, Saturn and Pisces, and the reality and the structuring with the Saturn energy, and push with your restriction, add a restriction to your thing that you love, compromising and are valuing right now, as the Mars is close to the South Node and the Sun's still transitioning with that dust element. So you're taking all your stability, all your routines, patterns, things you're analyzing, and you're adding rationalization and communication and separation and travel and breath work, utilizing your mind, your body, temple, prison, however you want to see it. But these are all the aspects correlated to that. So thank you for your time and tuning in, and infinite replay values on this and shares. You know what I'm saying? Drop down, leave it in the comments what other aspects you need me to touch up on, or how much more details I could break down for you, for us to understand and get a better grasp of that energy with the moon in detriment right now. But it's going to Aquarius. So thank you. Say bye.